All right, what's going on, everybody? This is another impromptu video. I wasn't prepared to do this, but I saw online AA9Skillz reacted to another one of my videos, the one on Vitor Roque, so we're going to take a look at that, go over it a little bit, and, see what he thought. Last time it was exciting, it was interesting. Obviously, I've been watching AA9Skillz for so long, so not only is it cool to have him react to my videos, but it also just gives us a chance to kind of talk through some of my older videos and see how they've aged and also, see what the deal is right now. So, let's get straight into it. Let's see what Skillz thinks of our video.
We need to talk about Vitor, the Barcelona beast. That's the name of the video, by the way. I'm not saying we need to talk. I'm saying that's the name of the video. We need to talk about Vitor, the Barcelona striker, the Brasileiro, the man that got there in January. And I want to react to this video with you guys because I want to see what the homeboy is. What's he talking about? This caught my attention. Like, what do you mean? Do you mean he's good? Do you mean he's bad? Do you mean they should sell him? What you got my attention, bro? So let me know if you guys want to watch the video.
Thumbnails are working. I got Skillz attention.
But let's go ahead, man. Let's react to this, man. Let's see what homie's saying about Vitor, man. Let's run it.
Vitor Roque. 3 months ago, Barcelona made his signing official for around 45 million euros.
Let me stop this for 1 second. Before you go any further, I just want to say, I think you do pay 45 million. I think you do pay 45 million. Now, the reason I say I think you do pay 45 million is that he's the future behind Lewandowski, and we all know that Lewandowski's at the end. So, yeah, you could easily go to a two-striker set, but if you look at modern football right now, there's not many teams doing two strikers. It's just not a formation that's really working right now. So, I think this does make sense. I know it's a lot of money, but I think it's a future play. Should he have more than one game? For sure. But you got Lewandowski in front of you. So I don't like the play of them paying this much and him not playing a lot right now because I think he's for the future. Let's go, though. Let me stop talking.
Yeah. He's right with that. He is. It was dramatic.
On here? Well, a lot of it has to do with the timing of his signing. Going into January, Barcelona were in desperate need of a good finisher. Lewandowski was out of form, and the squad was really.
I'm finally saying Lewandowski, right?
Chances in all of Europe. It just so happens the moment Roque came in, Lewandowski finally began picking up his form for the first time, basically since the World Cup.
That's usually what happens.
That he happened to pick up his form the moment I made a video criticizing him, but in all honesty, Lewandowski is doing very well.
He saw your video, bro.
Right now.
He saw your video.
And that's a problem for Roque. Not only is the Polish striker finishing well now, but he's actually linking up okay with his teammates. He isn't fantastic on the ball by any means, but he is definitely drawing more fouls now, and he's keeping the ball better for sure. Gu is grabbing some of the minutes that would have gone to Roque, but he does deserve it. I think Gu has been a little bit better than Roque so far, but he is much more accustomed to how the team plays, having spent more time in training with the squad than Roque has, so of course he is. To be fair, Gu has also.
I think that's a fair point I made too in that video. I think a lot of people were upset that I said I think Gu was better than Roque. I think I really firmly still believe that. I don't think obviously Roque hasn't been played in the same position or the necessarily the striker position every time, but I think Gu is just more used to what Xavi wants, and I think Gu is more of a like for like replacement for Lewandowski. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he can hold off defenders in a way we haven't seen Roque do this season. And I think that's really, low-key, one of the big reasons Xavi doesn't love Roque. I think he wants what Lewandowski is trying to do with all of this hold-up play and this link-up play, not necessarily someone who's going to go around making runs and just playing differently, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying Roque is bad or anything. I'm just saying I don't think the profile Roque brings right now is what Xavi wants from his striker, and we can go into more of why they even brought him to Barcelona in the first place. With Xavi apparently saying he didn't really want him to begin with, but it's a little messy for the kid, and you got to feel bad for him.
Opportunities than Roque has, in my opinion. Gu is coming in pretty much only replacing Lewandowski, while Roque is left floundering in that left wing pseudo striker position, plays very centrally and rotates a lot with Lewandowski, and so
you see which one, Felix.
Playing a similar position than he would if he were playing striker, even though his responsibilities are slightly different. So I'm really not that upset at Xavi for what he's doing with Roque. But let's take a look.
By the way, this video, a lot of people were really upset with this video. I remember the comments when it came out, and it happens when people drop their own opinions, and you expect that. It doesn't, it's not a bad thing. I encourage it. I'd rather see what other people think too, but people are very much quickly to jump on one side or the other on this Vitor Roque conversation, and I just feel bad for him.
To what Roque's actually doing in the minutes he has on the field. Roque is a very energetic striker profile, somewhat similar to, I guess you could say, young Luis Suarez in many ways. However, he's not linking up well at all.
I want to stop this video for 1 second because there is a thing that a lot of us do, including myself, and not to the homie that's making this video because it's so well put together.
Thank you,
The
Skillz.
big thing is, he said Suarez's name, right? Like where Suarez is, they're very energetic, similar type of players. The difference is Suarez hit the level of Barcelona and at Liverpool at a different age. This kid's 19 years old. He's not supposed to be at Barcelona yet. Like, I know we're used to seeing young Messi come in and Yamal doing well, but that's rare. And Barca does it well, throwing in a young 19-year-old, but a lot of them come through their academy. You don't just go out and buy a 19-year-old and slam him into your starting 11. Now he's a beast, right? That's Pedri did really well young. What I'm trying to say is sometimes players go through Europe. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a player at Ajax or an FC Porto or Benfica, and they'll groom the player and get the player ready for what's to come, right? And then they when they get to Barca, when they get to that level of Real Madrid or Barcelona, they're kind of prepared a little bit more. This kid is 19 years young, coming from Brazil, never played in European football, and now meant to compete with Lewandowski for a starting 11 spot. Like, that's very difficult for anyone to do. You're going up against one of the, when you're talking about traditional number 9s, like, just traditional stand-up number 9s, not the hybrid Ronaldos. You got in modern football, you had Haaland is now one of those stand-up. You got Lewandowski, you got Harry Kane. Like, there's not many. So now this guy is supposed to come in and compare with a top 5 guy or one of the top 5 strikers that was in our game. So it's for me, I think it's very difficult. It's a difficult situation for the young kid.
No, Skillz is right there. Yeah, look, I don't always agree with Skillz' points. Obviously, you don't always have to agree with mine, but he's right. This is just a very unfortunate situation for Roque, and I'm not criticizing the kid. I understand that he's not coming off the bat swinging and being amazing immediately, but the fact is he isn't at the level to get minutes right now, and Xavi, he isn't what Xavi wants. It's just incredibly unfortunate for him, for the club spending 45 million on him, now having to potentially send him away or do whatever they want to do. It's just a garbage situation to be in. I'm not surprised Barca are in it because we have been financially illiterate for, almost a decade now. And so it's just really reflecting poorly on us. And now it's, potentially hurting kids' development. I think he can, recover from this, and maybe he can take all these words that we've heard about him recently and try and become a different player and fight for his spot at Barca. But it's unfortunate for him. You just got to feel bad for him.
Pitch. However, Roque has what I like to call the Rafinha syndrome. That is, when he gets on the ball, he looks threatening and moves with pace into dangerous spots, but tends to make the wrong decision or fails to beat players one-on-one, and then
the young
ball.
decision making.
The difference is that Roque is 8 years younger than Rafinha
there
and he's playing
is.
in a different league. So
there
I have
is.
confidence in him that he can change that eventually.
We on the same page,
Rafinha
my man.
Might not. However, he's facing a bit of an unforeseen
The Rafinha
problem
comment
when
didn't
he
age
was
that wonderfully.
originally planning on coming to Barcelona. It's going to be just harder for him to get even more minutes. And at striker, it's not a much easier story. Lewandowski never got benched even when he was in poor form. So now that he's actually playing well and the side is only playing in 2 competitions, I don't see a lot of time.
One competition now.
There's also been rumors about Barca trying to pick up Haaland in the next few years, and with Laporta so concerned about the image and reputation of the
there were definitely rumors I saw on Twitter about that happening. And I think it was in the hype of Mbappe choosing to go to Madrid. So Laporta was coming out with some, snot trying to make it seem like we weren't financially just on such a different level than Madrid. So I think that's probably why I was seeing that at the time. But Skillz, who's not a Barca fan, isn't going to be on Barca Twitter, probably wouldn't be as, keyed on to that as I would.
all of Catalonia and somehow figures it out. But with all of that, where does this leave Roque? People, Barcelona fans specifically.
Yo, Skillz looks like he's having a stroke.
Reactionary. I'm the same way. Look at my YouTube channel. But I understand it when it comes to Roque because Barcelona spent 45 million euros on it. Barcelona does not have money to waste on a player, especially not an investment like that when you don't even let him play. So Laporta's going to put his foot down at some point and make sure the kid gets playing time. It's just a question of when that actually happens. The side doesn't desperately need him right now.
I think it should have been a bought and then loaned. Does that make sense? I think it should have been like, hey, we're buying him, but he could stay in Brazil till the end of the year type of move.
Like they did with Endrick.
You have João Felix on loan, who's probably going to end up, I mean, unless they come up with the money.
The problem is the Brazilian league runs, you know, the same time as the MLS. So when the Brazilian leagues, it ends in December or whatever, it's just a weird time to come. You know, either we have to snag him up halfway through the Brazilian season when, you know, La Liga starts back up in August, or it's just a little weird to do that. You know, Endrick is not playing football right now. He's probably training with Madrid, but he's, you know, Palmeiras is not playing right now. So
all of a sudden, when João Felix is off your books, and now it's just Lewandowski, who's getting up there in age, you got Torres, and you got him competing for that 9. That's not bad. Like when you have like 3, that's not bad. You also have the other young kid, but that's not bad. You're not in a bad spot there, you know? And honestly, I think they should let Felix go, because if you're not going to place Felix where he should play, which everyone seems to think that he's a winger, he's not. João Felix is a center forward. He's meant to play behind. His best years at Benfica, being a Benfica fan, was when he played behind Jonas. He was behind him, and he scored a ton of goals. He's good at playing.
He didn't score a ton. I think he scored like 15.
And I'm not saying like as good of a midfielder, no, but I'm just saying
more than he has yet.
Role, supporting the striker. Watch the way he dribbles. Watch the way he finds passes. That's where he's his best. So if you're not going to keep him for the center forward position, you need to move him, because that's just not where he's played the best.
So Skillz is kind of right here, but for Barcelona, you can't play much more of a center forward than he is right now. Like, I guess he is shadowing over onto the left side a little bit, so he's not in the middle of the field, but it's basically a center forward. The role he plays is the left. He's not a winger in this Barca squad. He never is on the touchline. It's always Cancelo who's offering the width, and then Felix is central. So I don't know. I feel bad for Felix though. He's in a tough situation.
When it comes to Vitor, if you can't find a way to use him, you're gonna have to loan him. But do I think they're gonna lose 45 million on this kid? No. I think that's money they could eventually get back. If they ended up moving away from him, but he's still too young, bro. I think the kid's gonna develop into a stud, man.
For young players to have to deal with having a ton of pressure on their shoulders, he has that time to develop before he has to deal with things like that. Now, this might push his development a little bit.
Thank you, Skillz. Appreciate you.
Line, but for a kid to not get his starting spot in a top-tier team until he's 20, even that's still early. The kid's only
very early
now, and he's
very early. I agree with you. I agree.
Let the kid develop. Knowing
I agree.
all of that, here are my predictions about what's going to happen.
I haven't looked back at these predictions. Let's see.
This year, I think Barcelona is going to sell Ansu Fati this summer, and I think the squad is going to either sell Lewandowski or loan out Mark Gue.
I disagree with that part. I don't think we're selling Lewandowski. It's not going to happen. And if it sounds like we're loaning out Mark Gue, I think we're loaning out Roque, which is what it's seeming like right now. I think we're going to keep Gue. I think we kind of have to, if it's just going to be Ferran Torres, him, and Lewandowski, but we'll see.
Probably be the case, because I don't think Barcelona will be able to afford another forward. I think Ferran Torres could also be on the chopping block, because I think he's earned a little bit of value this year, but Barcelona still has a little bit of money to pay to City, so it's not like a big transfer fee, or any transfer fee would be very profitable for them. So I'm not as bullish on that happening as I am Lewandowski or Gue going out, and almost certainly Ansu leaving. My opinions aside, I'm almost certain he's leaving, so that will open up a spot for Roque. Prediction 2. Roque is not going to play much football at all this year. Pretty healthy most of the time.
You got it right, because the season's almost over now when I'm watching this. He got it right.
Getting very many minutes this season, and
thank you, Skillz.
Okay. As I said before, let him develop. Let him figure out how to play with Barcelona. Prediction 3. I think we are going to see a much different Roque next season. Yes, that's a quick turnaround.
I still firmly believe that.
All together.
One more thing I want to say, because I think Homeboy is putting together a phenomenal video here.
Thank you, Skillz.
I think
But that means criticism is coming.
Because even when you look at what Xavi had to do this offseason, I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, that's not an excuse, but he got João Cancelo and João Felix. Like, didn't he get him on like deadline day? One of them was on deadline day. When you don't have enough time to really organize a season and put a season together properly and really like have time with the players to adjust them to your system, it's difficult. He gets this young kid, Victor, in this wintertime, and you just got to make him fit your system. Your system wasn't meant for this player yet. Your system was meant to be around Lewandowski. Him and Lewandowski are two different players. So the whole system needs to kind of be changed, and you need to change it around who's going to be your starter. How are you going to get Victor into the team? Where does Victor go into the team, and build around that? Because you get pieces even when, that's why you don't see crazy winter transfer signings, because a lot of teams are built a certain way, and then you can't just take a piece and insert it into it and think it's going to work perfectly. That's not how football works. So you got to build chemistry with your teammates. There's a lot more to it. So I agree with him. I agree with everything he's saying here. Now, one thing I must say is I'm watching this video a little bit closer to the back end of the season. Where I'm at right now with Xavi and Barcelona, because they're not in the Champions League no more, and because there's not that many games left, and if you feel like you really can't catch Real Madrid, I think it's time to start playing Victor a little bit more than Lewandowski, because you want to see what you have.
It's concerning that Xavi hasn't, which is why I think he's going to go on loan
into the next season. So with Lewandowski being more a little bit up there in age, you got this young Victor. You're not really competing for the league no more. You got to make sure that you're in second and still trying to, still do what you're doing. But if you think that Real Madrid actually got this locked up, I think it's time to start giving Victor a little bit extra playing time. But here we go, man. Let's keep going. Hey, make sure to go check out this homie's video. It'll be in the description. It's a great video. Well put together, bro. If you see this, man, incredible video. And I agree with every point.
Thank you, Skillz.
Every point. It's not smart to waste $45 million and give somebody one game. There's a lot to it, right? It's just that he's competing against Lewandowski. I definitely think that he's going to be a big part of Barcelona. I don't think Barcelona fans should freak out yet. I think he's going to be phenomenal.
He's right.
And I think that again, being 19 years old at Barcelona is not easy. It's a little bit different when you come from their schooling and when you've lived there already. But I know y'all gonna laugh at me, man. When you're 19 years old, man, you go from Brazil to Spain. The food's different. You're away from your family. It's a whole new world for this kid. I think he's going to be fine. I think him not having to go in and have that pressure on him right away is actually a blessing.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I
Appreciate
hope the
you,
best
Skillz.
for Victor going forward. I hope he's an absolute stud. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, the video we react to will be in the description down below. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.
That was really good from Skillz. Last video, I think it was just a different type of video. It was kind of it was less opinions, kind of just a story about Barcelona. But this was an entire opinionated video talking about the situation, and then like blatantly putting out my thoughts. And obviously, when I saw this come up, I didn't watch it until I sat down here. I was a little concerned. I was sitting here editing another video. I was concerned about how it was going to go, what was going to happen, what he was going to say. I read through some of the comments, and they weren't exactly positive, but they're comments. That's usually how they go. I think Skillz is right. I think this Roque situation is just very unfortunate for him, for Barcelona, and for everybody. And problem is, we still need to secure second place. We're facing Girona tomorrow, as I'm recording this. Probably, we might have already played them if you guys are watching this after the match. And if we lose, we're in third, and we can't give up that Supercopa spot. If we beat Girona tomorrow, the story's a little bit different, and I would expect to see a little bit more of him, not just because he's a young player who deserves minutes, but because Xavi's probably under a lot of pressure right now from the press and from fans about this whole Roque situation. I think fans are very upset about it, and so I would think Laporta, everybody, is going to be pretty keen in on that. Not going to want to make everybody upset. I hope he gets a couple minutes for the rest of the season. I'm not optimistic, and I almost certainly believe he's going to go out on loan next year, but whatever. All right, I'm going to be live streaming the Girona match on my main channel, so make sure if you're watching before that, head over to that video and hang out with me. You can throw some comments in the stream, and we can all chat about this Roque situation, and maybe Roque starts tomorrow. Who knows? But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Skillz, for checking out this video, or you checking out another one of my videos. You're welcome to check out as many as possible. This was a lot of fun. And I like responding to people talking about my content, just because it's nice to have a conversation about this stuff outside of comments on the video, or a bunch of people laughing at my thumbnails on Twitter. Nonetheless, though, appreciate you, Skillz, as always, and everybody for watching. We got to watch one of the guys I used to grow up all the time who got me into FIFA watching another one of my videos, and every time I do that, it's a good day, no matter what he says. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.